Hello everyone, it's Mark Shalero, the owner of MS Classic Cars, and I'm coming right back at you with another spectacular vehicle. Today, I'm sitting behind the wheel of a 2002 Subaru Impreza WRX. That's a one-owner vehicle with only 7,350 miles. This vehicle's been tastefully customized and it's selling on a Bring a Trailer online auction with no reserve. You gotta check this out. To start off this presentation here, this is a non-rehearsed video, so there's going to be a lot of information I do forget. So I would ask to please visit my website at msclassiccars.com for a full description with a ton of highly detailed photos. We spend countless hours doing the best work that we can with our photography to show you every square inch of this car, and when you look at all the photos, it is clear as day how beautiful it is. If you have or have not been following MS Classic Cars, please note I only collect #1 and #2 condition vehicles. We've been doing that since inception. We are proud to say that we're the only classic car dealership in the country who services everything that we sell, and we document that work with an invoice, as we've done here with this car today. So even though this car is 20 years old, to some people, they would consider that a classic, so they do still require, obviously, service work. So I put together a brand new binder for every single vehicle that we sell. Everything goes in methodical order with plastic sleeves and so forth, but first and foremost is the invoice that documents the work that we've done. We've invested a total of $3,518.96 into this vehicle here today, and you can actually go on our website in our photo gallery and see exactly what we've done to the vehicle. When they're done being serviced, we bring them into the detail room. We do a fantastic job starting from the bottom, working our way right to the top. Again, spending countless hours making these cars as new as we possibly can, so that when the new owner gets them, the service work is done, the detail work is done, and all they have to do is enjoy the vehicle. So please, if you don't know anything or a little bit about MS Classic Cars, I would ask that you please do some homework on our company. So, first let me tell you the quick story before I get into the presentation of this car. One day I got a phone call, as I do throughout the days, every day that I'm pretty much at work, with people who have leads for me on cars that are for sale, or referrals, or people I've done business with. This particular car actually found me. I cannot take the credit for finding it. A person I've actually done some business with that knew about me referred me to the gentleman who actually owned this car. He was looking to sell it, didn't really know where to go to sell it as far as marketing and so forth. And he was steered in my direction. So he said, Mark, you're the first person I'm calling to see if you're interested in buying my spectacular car. I could tell by the way that he was talking that this was truly like a baby to him. And this gentleman is no spring chicken. I probably would guess he's maybe 60 years old-ish. I apologize to him if he's watching this video and he's only in his 50s, but hopefully he's older and that was a compliment. But anyway, you get my point. This is not a car I bought from some young kid. So he wrote this little paragraph here that I'm going to read to you, and then he listed all the features that are on the car and so forth. And then, of course, he included all the receipts for everything that he invested in this car over the time that he had had it and so forth. So here's what he said. As an enthusiast, I purchased the car brand new in California, and modifications took place over 5 years to complete. A very powerful and fun car to drive, less than 7,300 miles. That's original miles he put, and approximately 1,100 miles on the 2.5 STI long block. Never raced, never seen wet pavement. This car's in brand new condition and has been stored in a heated garage in the Northeast. Huge amounts of effort were invested professionally to modify this car, all the custom work, and the following list of major modifications are listed below. So again, you can read this in our photo gallery of exactly what he wrote. I did make some notes here on things that he did. And what I also did is I made a list of all the upgrades that he made to the vehicle during his time frame that you can go on and you can see it. And then I also want to clarify one thing as well while we're on the subject of this binder here. The Car Fax report clearly shows no accidents, no damage. It shows great history, et cetera, et cetera. It backs up the mileage. It backs up everything. But one thing it says is 3 previous owners. I want to be very clear. The first owner they're showing here was for 24 days. That was a corporate deal. Sometimes dealers report cars corporately, meaning into their own type of fleet. They get credit with the manufacturer when they do that before they actually physically retail the car. And then the second owner here is showing, obviously, the gentleman that I bought the car from. It shows that he owned the car for 8 years, and it shows Colorado and then Rhode Island. But what he did is he moved. He moved from California to Colorado, where he now lives in Rhode Island, where he's been for many years. So when he got his new titles in both Colorado and Rhode Island, they showed up as second owner and third owner, when the reality is the car is a one-owner vehicle. I just want to make sure I clarified that. And you can actually see the Car Fax report in our photo gallery as well. MS Classic Cars is proud to be a Car Fax dealer. So let's go into the presentation here regarding some of the history, the story, then I'll kind of just briefly touch base on the exterior, the interior, and the engine compartment undercarriage. So this superb 2002 Subaru Impreza WRX Custom only has 7,350 original miles and is a one-owner vehicle. It's extremely clean and tastefully customized. The Subaru WRX, for anybody who doesn't know, is an all-wheel drive sport compact car that was originally based on the Impreza created for the World Rally Championship in 1992. Subaru claimed the name WRX stands for World Rally Experiential. The Impreza WRX debuted in the US for the 2002 model year, which makes this very collectible among enthusiasts. People reference this as a bugeye, okay? This is a kind of a big deal being a 2002. The car is accompanied with a clean Car Fax report that documents the low mileage that I just showed you. Let it be known, again, about the Car Fax showing multiple owners when indeed it only has one owner. The car was purchased from Subaru of San Bernardino, located in California, by the gentleman I purchased the car from on July 2nd, 2001. He is an engineer by trade and a true automotive enthusiast. He purchased this as a second vehicle and did not use it as a daily driver, hence its extremely low mileage. He wanted to enhance his new WRX both cosmetically and mechanically, which he was very passionate about. He started making improvements in 2001, as I had mentioned earlier, and completed everything in 2005. As he said, it was roughly a 4 to 5 year deal. As the receipts document, okay, he invested a total, not including the purchase price of the car, of $51,871.44 into this vehicle. Again, all of those receipts are documented in the binder that I have. This car, again, was never raced. It was never driven in the rain. It's been stored in a climate control garage. And again, after 20 years of ownership, he contacted me to purchase it. And MS Classic Cars purchased the vehicle on November 9th, 2022. This is the first time it's ever been offered for sale. And again, it's selling with no reserve. So let's talk briefly about the exterior. The second generation WRX, referred to as the bugeye, with its distinctive headlights. It features an all aluminum alloyed hood with functional scoop and stylish bumpers. The sport silver paint color is absolutely spectacular on this car. Again, I want to reference that we are going to, at this point, bring in a paint meter and exterior presentation into this video. So I'm going to get out of the car now. We're going to do that, and I'm going to get back into the car so you can clearly see everything about the exterior of this vehicle. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a walk-around presentation of our 2002 Subaru Impreza WRX with 7,350 original miles. Keep in mind that this car is going on 21 years old. Okay, so it's not a perfect car. No car that's 21 years old is perfect. So please keep that in mind. But let's get a little closer here. I'm going to use my flashlight, and I'm just going to be your sets of eyes as I go through this. I'm going to point out every single imperfection that I can. I'm also going to use what's called an electronic paint meter. This establishes whether a vehicle has had paint work or not, depending on the year of the car, the make, the model, and so forth. With this particular paint meter, numbers are going to read typically between a 2 and somewhere, around an 8, somewhere in that vicinity. Once in a while, you might get something a little bit higher than an 8, but that's what you're looking for, is just numbers in that range, and they will never be completely consistent numbers throughout, but they'll be somewhat close. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to start with the hood of the vehicle. I'm going to use my flashlight here. And again, this has got all the original paint. I bought this from the original owner, so he was very upfront with me with everything he did. Just talking about a couple of chips, we have a little tiny chip there. Again, some of these chips are the size of a pencil tip. They're very tiny. But I just want to, again, point out everything to be as transparent as possible. There's another little chip there as well. Over here, we have a couple is in the front here as well. Again, not a big deal. There is a couple of small, I would say, dents on this car, just little tiny dents. I did not want to hire somebody to come in and do paintless dent removal and take a chance on cracking the original paint. So I'll leave that up to the next owner if he or she chooses to do so. But there is a little tiny ding here. Again, these are very minor. That's from people pushing down on the hood when they close it. Looking at the headlights here, they're crystal clear. The grille's in beautiful condition. Super nice. The front bumper is in really nice shape. It does have a couple of imperfections here and so forth. Again, very minor. I don't see anything here that's worth mentioning. The fog lights are in beautiful shape. Again, everything is super nice. Moving over to the driver's side fender. The fender here, again, I'm going to look as closely as I can for any imperfections to speak of. It's in really nice shape. I'm going to go ahead and paint meter the hood here on this side for you. A 3.0, so we have original factory paint. I'm going to go ahead and paint meter the fender. We have a 6.0. So again, these are very consistent numbers showing original factory paint. There is a little tiny imperfection there. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but again, very minor. Again, I'm putting this flashlight within 6 inches of this car. Keep that in mind. These wheels here, again, Volk racing wheels. These are very collectible amongst enthusiasts because they're considered vintage now. We put on these brand new tires. These are Continental Extreme Contacts, one of my favorite tires of all time. But this wheel is in absolutely perfect condition. These were actually powder coated to match the color of the car. Thought he did a great job with that. Moving over to the glass. The glass is in beautiful condition. I only see a couple of little tiny marks. Again, you would expect that with a vehicle of this age. It's in beautiful shape, all original glass. Now, one thing that I did make note of in my description is from the factory, there was a little antenna that was here that he did not like the look of. He kind of thought it threw off the body line a little bit. So what he did is, in a small section here, he did a little bit of a paint blend when they removed that antenna. So we will show you exactly how the paint meter works. So here, you'll see where it's a 5.5 original factory paint. When you hold the paint meter in this area here, you can see it's a 14.5. So clearly the paint meter does exactly what it's supposed to do. And if any panel on this car was reading a 14.5, you would know that the car had paint work. Again, it was painted just in this little area here, and then it was blended. So the paint over here is original. The paint in this little section here is not. So that's how the paint meter works. It is extremely accurate. Now, let's move over to the mirrors. Mirrors are in beautiful condition, nothing to speak of. You can notice all the seals in this car too are in really nice condition. This car was never driven in bad weather, no snow, no rain. It was always garaged in a controlled environment. Again, there's a ding in here. I am being so fussy right now that I had to look for that ding, which one of my guys said he caught in the right light. Again, I would never address it because you can't really see it unless you stare at it at a certain angle. But the driver's door here is in beautiful condition. I don't really see any imperfections to speak of. These lower moldings down here are in super nice condition. It does have a little blemish there. Again, minor stuff here. Door handles are in super nice shape. Talking about the paint meter on the door, we got a 4.5 original factory paint. When we come up to the roof, again, I'm looking for any imperfections. I don't see one imperfection here. Maybe a tiny pin-sized little thing there. Again, here's the paint meter, 4.5. Again, I'll go to the back, 5.0, all very consistent. Again, these windows have been tinted. They're in beautiful shape. Looking at the driver's side door, little tiny imperfection there. Again, some of this might not even show up in the camera. I'm being very fussy. Again, keep in mind, this car is a 2002. Here's a little blemish here as well. Tiny spot. Again, nothing else to speak of. If I were here, we'll do the paint meter. 5.0, again, 5.5, all original factory paint. As we make our way down the driver's side rear quarter, it's in beautiful condition. Again, I don't see really anything worth mentioning. The guys did a really nice job detailing this car. So let's go ahead and use the paint meter here. Again, 5.5. When we look at these wheels again, they're in spectacular condition. I would say that they're perfect. I really don't see even the lightest little imperfection on these wheels. They're absolutely like new. Again, brand new Continental tires. Make our way over to the back here. The spoiler is obviously plastic, so there's no point in doing a paint meter on it. It's in beautiful condition. We'll kind of flip over here to the deck lid. 4.5, original factory paint. Again, the rear window has been tinted. It's in beautiful condition. You can see the rear defroster lines in it. Rear trunk compartment area. Beautiful shape. I don't see any imperfections at all. Again, 4.5. Bumper's plastic. It's not going to read on the paint meter. You can see nothing happened. This bumper is in beautiful shape. There is a tiny little pin-sized chip there. Again, most cars that you see on the road today that are 1 or 2 years old have a lot more imperfections than what this car does. It is in absolutely like new condition. I've spent a lot of time on the internet looking at these cars. We've owned a few Subaru WRXs over the years, but for a 20-plus-year-old car, it is in absolutely amazing condition. The passenger rear quarter here looks to be flawless. Super, super nice shape. There is a little tiny chip there. Again, I'll use the paint meter. 5.0, original factory paint. Beautiful tinted glass. Looking at the roof again. 4.5, original paint. I don't see any imperfections in this roof to speak of. Okay, this is probably one of the bigger chips, which is still pretty small with all things considered. You can see it there in the passenger rear door. Again, the seals are beautiful. I don't see any imperfections at all. Super nice shape. I'll go ahead and paint meter this. 6.0, original factory paint. Over here, again, on this passenger rear wheel, it's flawless. Again, they powder coated these to be the same color as the car, did a beautiful job. Some of this stuff here is just residue. It's in super nice condition. They did a great job when we installed these tires too of keeping these wheels flawless during the installation process. Moving over to the passenger front door, a little imperfection right there. The rest of it looks to be super, super nice. There might be a little hairline imperfection there. One maybe right there as well. Just a couple of little tiny ones. And there is a little ding that's in the corner here. I don't know if you can actually see that with this light, but it's right there. Again, not a big deal. The lower molding on the bottom is in beautiful condition. We'll go ahead and paint meter this door. 4.5. These are very consistent numbers throughout. Original factory paint. Right here on the front fender, there's a little tiny, again, these are like so small that it would be like if I took my knuckle and just went like that. That's how tiny these are. Again, you don't really see it unless you're looking for it, but this passenger front fender here is in beautiful condition. Let me go ahead and paint meter it. Again, 5.5, extremely consistent numbers. Look at this front wheel. Perfect. This is a perfect wheel. Again, brand new tires, beautiful. And last but not least, we will just paint meter this side of the hood. There it is, 3.0. So this is a really thorough walk-around presentation of this amazing car. I'm gonna get back inside of it and talk more about it. Okay, now that we've done the exterior presentation, I'm just gonna touch base on a couple of other things here regarding some of the improvements that were done to the outside of the vehicle. The windows were professionally tinted to match all the black accents such as the grille and rocker moldings. A custom rear spoiler was added to the trunk to give it a very unique design. The car sits on authentic Volk Racing TE37 18 by 8.5 wheels that were powder coated to match. The wheels are now considered vintage and very desirable among enthusiasts. The wheels are wrapped with brand new Continental Extreme Contact Sport 225 4018 tires that were installed by MS Classic Cars. Now, as we get to the interior here, this interior is in absolutely spectacular condition. For a 20-year-old, going on 21-year-old car, this is about as good as it gets. The headliner is absolutely flawless. There's no sagging, there's no imperfections. It still has the stickers on the visors. The dashboard is flawless. There's no cracks. There's no imperfections in the steering wheel. The door panels, the seats, the carpeting. If somebody were to ask me with all my years of experience, and I've been in the car business a long time, guess the age of this interior. If I were sitting in this car, I would say that it's maybe brand new, maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year old. That's how beautiful this car is. It's truly spectacular. No smells, no odors, nothing like that. It is truly an amazing interior. Just to touch base on a couple things here. The cabin features bucket seats and a rear bench, which is upholstered in the black cloth with the blue patterned inserts joining by matching door panel inserts. The factory gauge cluster features yellow instrument needles and includes a 140 mile per hour speedometer, a tachometer, and a 7,000 RPM gauge red line. It also has auxiliary gauges for coolant temperature and fuel. The factory-equipped 4-spoke Momo airbag steering wheel is wrapped with perforated leather, and it also has an AM/FM stereo cassette with a in-dash 6-disc changer. It's got air conditioning, cruise control, power windows, locks, door locks, etc. It has been outfitted with a center console mounted, and I'll just read you this quick. It's HKS 4402-SA oil temp, boost, and EGT white face gauges. It still has its original WRX floor mats, which are in great condition, and the trunk compartment is also super clean and home to the original spare tire. So I kind of went over the exterior and all the modifications that were made, and also to the interior. So now we're just going to kind of touch base on the engine compartment and undercarriage, and we'll wrap up the video. So anybody who knows cars knows when they see something, especially when you see 30 or 40 close-up photos of it, this engine compartment is absolutely spectacular, to say the least. It is show quality. I, again, have been on the internet. I've looked at these cars. We just sold a relatively new Subaru WRX that was a beautiful car. Coincidentally, it was silver. You can see that on our website sold page. That vehicle's engine compartment was beautiful. I would put this one right up next to it. The fact that this car is from 2002, and I would say that, is massive. So this engine bay is spectacular. It retains all of its original factory tags, stickers, assembly plant markings. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The car is powered by an upgraded new 2.5 STI turbocharged engine that was dyno tested in 2022 with 248 wheel horsepower, which is roughly 300 horsepower at the crank. Now, we have a dyno sheet. So what MS Classic Cars did is we went down the street to Dynatech, who does all of our dyno tuning and so forth, and we wanted to just kind of see what kind of power this car was putting down. So we have a dyno sheet, which is also in the photo gallery that you can check out. It clearly shows here with 17 pounds of boost that this vehicle dyno tested at 248 horsepower to the tires. Now, this vehicle does have again, a computer system and tune that was done back years and years ago when the car was relatively new. So they were explaining to us at Dynatech that if somebody really wants to spend a couple $1,000s, they want to gain another 50 horsepower, possibly 75 horsepower out of this car, this engine was built so well that all they have to do is upgrade that computer and just do a retune. Again, if somebody really wants to go even further, and we were somewhat conservative with our boost, we could have turned it up a little bit. We could have done some different things with air and fuel and everything else, but we just wanted to do a dyno video. So we did it, so you can check that out in our gallery. We also have, or you can see it on our YouTube channel. You can see the dyno that we actually did the day that we went to Dynatech, so make sure to check that out, okay? So let's talk a little bit about the engine here. The engine was ordered as a long block, which again, we have all the receipts for. Some of the engine parts, because again, you can order it or you can order it with good upgraded parts. This has got the Carrillo Con rods. It's got CP forged pistons. It's got ARP head studs. It's got Rally multi-layer head gasket set. It's got a Garrett Hybrid BB turbo kit with 32 PSI. It's got an AVO intake system, AVO single mass flywheel, AVO blow-off valve, high performance intake and valves. It's got an oil cooler. It's got a fuel pump kit. It's got custom fuel rails, custom high capacity top mounted intercooler with LEM. Again, it's got the plug-in for the ECU. The engine breathes through a AVO 3-inch Pollux exhaust system with chrome tip. Now, the engine is coupled to an upgraded transmission that is really, really spectacular. This transmission, back when he bought it, again, this was all done in that 2001-2005 time frame, was $6,539. The guys at Dynatech had said the transmission in this car is an awesome transmission, and today it would even be more expensive than that. So it has the transmission to back up the engine power the way it is, or if somebody even wants to make it faster than what it is. So it's a, I think it's pronounced Fitzner 5-speed manual transmission with 4-gear Hellcal Synchro. It's equipped with a 1/2 and 3/4 billet selector forks, high-performance seal kit, and short shift kit. It's been outfitted with a 6-puck clutch kit to handle the additional power as well, and it has a factory limited slip differential. This new engine, based on when it was installed and what he referenced, again, has 1,100 miles on the engine. So this car's original engine, he had done a lot of things, as all the receipts document and so forth, had a problem with it, decided rather than doing something with that original engine as far as rebuilding it or replacing it with the same engine, why not upgrade it to the 2.5? And that's exactly what he did, which makes this a very interesting car just because it has the more desirable engine. So finishing this here, the undercarriage, as you will see in our photo gallery, also retains all of its original factory tags and stickers, assembly paint markings. The undercarriage of this car is one of the cleanest I have ever seen on a 2002 car of any make or model. It is truly mirror quality. It's spectacular underneath. Again, go on the internet, look at these cars and look at the condition of them. Finding one in this shape is very, very difficult. The upgraded suspension parts consist of Teen Flex Z adjustable coilovers that we added at MS Classic Cars. It does also have DMS sway bars and DMS strut tower braces. The braking system was also upgraded to StopTech big brakes with 4 piston calipers, and it does have 330mm slotted rotors. So again, you can see all of this information on our website in the photo gallery. So that kind of concludes this video here. So if you have not signed up for our VIP email blast, I would please ask that you do so. That is the best way to follow MS Classic Cars. We have thousands of people that subscribe to that list. We also would ask that you follow us on all the social media networks. Again, I'll say it over and over again that we are not a big company. We are doing big things. Really appreciate you watching this video. I'm going to go ahead and start the car, let you listen how beautiful it runs, give it a few revs, and take it from there. We appreciate it. Here we go. You can see, fires right up, runs beautiful. Rock and roll.